Action.
Hello. Speech.
Alright, this speech is on a meaningful relationship. Okay, so I first met Chris in London. Me and my family were there for the 2012 London Olympics, and he was there on work. He actually had been talking to my older sister for a while and had a pretty big crush on her. So he asked her out there for the first time. That's when we all met Chris. And at first, we didn't really like him very much. He tried to fit in with us, and he was a little different than us in our family dynamic. So me and my brothers, of course, being brothers, didn't like him at all. It was our older sister we were talking about here. So Chris and Lauren went on a date, actually hit it off in London, and they came back, and he started hanging around a lot more. Me and my brothers still not liking him, giving him a hard time, you know. But eventually him and Lauren started dating, and he became just like another member of the family. He started traveling with us, started hanging out with us. I played a lot of video games with him. Eventually he was just like one of us. He even looked like me and my brothers, so people would make jokes all the time that he was part of the family. Him and Lauren, my oldest sister, went on to get married a summer after that. Unfortunately though, Chris, about 2 years into their marriage, was diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer. It was a really tough process. Him and Lauren basically had to put their lives on hold for him to go get treatment, trying to figure out how we could get him healed, get him cured. They were flying around, had to go to San Francisco for a while. Basically, he wasn't allowed to leave the house. He was either in the house or in the hospital. That was it. It was a really rough time. He eventually was cured. We, about a year later after he was first diagnosed, we got the all clear that he was cancer free. And we had a huge celebration, huge party. It was a great time. We were all just so happy that he was still with us. But sadly, a year later, he was re-diagnosed, and the cancer was even worse this time. It was extremely aggressive. It spread all over his body. It was very degenerative cancer. He started, just to be like skin and bones, basically. It was a really sad process to watch. Over a year, he went from being athletic, bigger guy to just being like a husk almost. Him and Lauren were flying all over the world for treatment. They went to Germany. They lived in California for about 3 months trying to figure out if there was any sort of treatment that would work for him. Sadly, they weren't able to find any. Chris was eventually given 1 month to live, and he passed away that next Saturday, exactly 1 year to the day since he was re-diagnosed. He was 30 years old, way too young for that to happen to anybody. We were all extremely distraught. It was a shock to us because nobody really should go that young. My sister, the love of her life had just been taken from her. It was very hard for her and our whole family because he was at that point so close to us, and he was one of us. 1,000 people attended his funeral service. It wasn't a typical service. Everyone showed up in their white Team Chris shirts, and it was really like a celebration of his life, celebration of the lives he changed and who he was. It was amazing to see, and at the service, we all had a Thanksgiving dinner because it was his favorite holiday. Chris touched everyone he came into contact with. People who didn't even know him, their lives were being changed through his story, from him just staying centered and grounded and not complaining at all about his circumstance. He was able to go through all that treatment and all that suffering without asking for sympathy from anyone. It was amazing to watch, really. He was so strong through his pain. You know, weeks where he was in the hospital for 7 days because he was just completely nauseous, couldn't stop like being sick. Yet he didn't complain once, and he didn't try to get anyone to feel bad for him. When he was given 1 month to live, his response to the doctors was, "It is well with my soul." He was an amazing person. He changed my life forever, and he changed so many people's lives with his story, and I'm forever grateful for him. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, we're still zoomed in there. Eric.